Hello everyone, this is your host, your friend, your boy, Jet Black, the one and only, here with another exciting live stream. Give me one moment so where I can start a live chat. That way I'll be able to talk with you all during today's stream. In this video, as always, I am going to go over my day. Then I'm going to post everything that I say about my day in the description box below. And then after I post in the description box below, I'll talk with you all in the live chat. We can talk about my day. We can talk about any topics that you guys are interested in talking about, whether it's about like comics, anime, video games, etc., or just about like our everyday lives. Just feel free to hit up your boy with your thoughts. This is more of a like hangout session than anything else. So without further ado, let's get started. First, I'm gonna go over my day. So Aidan and I wrote raps together and talked about YouTube until around 15 after 6 a.m. Then I went back to the dorm and watched a Maximillian Dood video about Mortal Kombat 11 variations. A few days ago, I talked with Collin, Jarrod, Matt, Max, Avery, and CJ about how I thought player-made custom moveset variations could work in competitive tournament settings. Everyone disagreed with me. Maximillian Dood in his recent video discussed how he hoped Netherealms would allow for custom moveset variations in competitive tournament settings. Maximillian Dood is a popular fighting game YouTuber that Collin and I watch. I'm now very curious to see if Maximilian's interest might sway the other's opinion. Because, uh, no one in the room thought it would be a good idea, other than me, for you to have like custom moves for your characters in Mortal Kombat 11. The reason why I don't think it would be too bad of a like concept is that you're able to see what all the different like moves are for every character, like all the special moves for the variations, right? So each of those moves has a way for it to like be blocked or a way for you to like get around it. None of the moves are inherently broken. And as long as you can recognize each move and you know how to get around it, then it doesn't matter what set of moves are on like your friend Sub Zero versus like your mom Sub Zero. They may have completely different moves, but because you've like understand what all those moves are and what they do, and like some are blocked mid, some are blocked low, some are blocked high, stuff like that. If you just understand all those moves, it shouldn't matter what like set of moves your opponent's Sub Zero has or your opponent's Scorpion has, because you know how to get around like all their moves, so it's irrelevant. You know what I mean? And it's not like anyone is getting like extra moves that no one else has, or they're getting like moves that are like broken and you can't like do anything about. It's just like they get a small set of like a larger group of moves that you are able to like learn about and understand. You know, so I don't feel like anyone gets any explicit advantage out of playing their variation of Sub Zero with their Sub Zero set of moves, mainly because of the fact that no matter what moves they put on their Sub Zero, those moves are like public knowledge for like other people. Not saying that you know exactly what your opponent put on their Sub Zero, but more that like no matter what moves they put on them, it just has to be from this bigger group, and everyone knows about the bigger group. I don't want to focus on it too long, but I mean we had like a long conversation about it, and like no one was fucking with it. But I honestly don't think it was that bad of an idea. And Maximilian Dude also seems to agree that like it's not a bad idea. Not a bad idea. People should be able to make their own custom variations for their characters in Mortal Kombat 11 tournaments and be able to play them in tournament. I feel like that just makes sense. So after that, I set an alarm for 11:45 a.m. and went to bed for the night. I then woke up at 12:30 p.m. and streamed the fan poll. The fan poll winner for today was a Dueling Book Highlander deck building stream. For that stream, I didn't have an idea already for like a Highlander deck, but I thought I could use custom cards. So I was getting ready to make like a custom card Yu-Gi-Oh! Highlander deck, and then Ryan, who voted for the Dueling Book Highlander deck building stream, was like, no custom cards. And then I was just lost. I was like, oh, we can't use custom cards? I thought that was the whole point. Because I normally don't like to play on Dueling Book unless we're using custom cards. If we're gonna play, excuse me, if we're gonna play using like cards already built in the game, I'd much rather play using Dueling Nexus. So I was really thrown for a loop that we were playing Highlander, but we were gonna play it on book instead of Nexus. That was just really odd. So I add like 10 cards to the deck over the course of like an hour long live stream because I just don't know like what I should put in. In case you're not familiar with like Highlander format, it's you can only have one copy of any card in your deck. So normally in Yu-Gi-Oh, there's like a 3 card like limit, meaning that if you have like let's say Alexandrite Dragon, you can have up to 3 copies of Alexandrite Dragon in your deck. In Highlander format, they're like you can only have like one copy of Alexandrite Dragon in your deck. You wouldn't be able to have two or three. So it makes it a lot harder for you to build a deck because you can't make your deck consistent. You can't just say, oh, I'll put like 3 of this, 2 of this, 1 of this. Is like everything's one. So you have to like think hard about like what you're gonna put in the deck and what is like the overall goal of your deck and how you're gonna get everything to work together. So I didn't make a lot of progress in building the deck that I was working on for Highlander in that stream. I had a lot of fun though. Matt was in the stream, and we talked about the D&D campaign that we've been doing. Fools Fool's Kingdom. That is the name. It's a campaign that our friend Collin is running, and this is a pretty solid game so far. Me and Matt both have like our gripes with like a few things that happened in like the first session, but hopefully those are things that can get like ironed out over time. But yeah, fingers crossed on that. Maddie called me just as I ended that live stream, and we went to Dunkin' Donuts for breakfast and took it back to the dorm. We then watched Adventures of Superboy while we ate. There was a really good episode in which Lex Luthor had to decide whether or not to let Superboy help him escape a collapsed mine or kill Superboy. The dialogue in this episode was some of the best in the series, and it really showed off like why does Superboy do what he does? Why does Lex Luthor like hate Superboy? And is it really possible for these two like diametrically opposed people to like work together to like achieve a common goal? And it was a pretty good. It was like a character study episode, to where by the end of it you feel like you truly get Superboy and you truly get Lex Luthor and you understand why they don't like each other, but then you can somehow, after learning so much about these two characters and how they're not alike, see how it's possible for them to like unite in order to achieve a common goal. So I just thought it was like a really cool episode. It's probably one of the best episodes of Adventures of Superboy that I've seen so far. I went to Aiden's after that, where we hung out and watched music videos. I introduced Aiden to artists like Young Lean, Cincy Molly, Lil Brook, and more. Aiden and I talked about who we thought was more attractive, Cincy Molly or Lil Brook. Aiden prefers Lil Brook, while I vibe more with Cincy Molly. The reason why is because Cincy Molly has more of like a out there like personality. She seems like really happy and like kind of like energetic. She also is like stacked like in the front and in the back kind of thing. Where Aiden's like Little Brooks like taller. He's not down with like the short and stacked kind of like setup. She's taller. She's a little more lean. And she's not as like out there. Her personality isn't like megaphoned in your face. She's like more chill. So that's why he kind of vibes with Little Brooke more. But we were like, hey, I guess if we were ever in a situation where we were hanging out with them, we know like who we would go for or whatever. But it was just a little like hangout conversation. While hanging out with Aiden, I sold a magic sigil to a repeat customer on Fiverr, so I got another 5-star review and another $5 in my pocket. I then went back to the dorm and hung out with Maddie as she studied Spanish. We talked about why superpowered people shouldn't have sex. The main reason is most powers are emotion slash adrenaline based and could be accidentally triggered during sex, especially in stories where that's like the main thing. X-Men pushes this a lot, like the idea that like in puberty, when your emotions like start to like rile up with like hormones and shit, or you get like excited, your powers can just kind of like wow out of control, and you have to like work in order to train your mind to like hold that back. I just feel like during like highly intense situations where like your heart's pumping, your adrenaline's going, or like you're feeling like strong emotions, it's just harder to control your powers. The Incredible Hulk is similar to that, where like his whole power is based on like if he gets riled up, shit's just gonna like hit the fan. Um, so it's very dangerous, in my opinion, for superpowered people to like have sex with normal people or even with people with other powers. And it seems like the best way to counteract like them from accidentally like killing each other would be if their powers somehow allowed them to defend from like the other person's power. So we talked about like what superpowered people might be safe for you to like hit up for sex, and which would like definitely kill you, and which superpowered people could like have sex with each other like without killing each other. So we talked about that. It was like a fun little like thought experiment thing. After that, I walked Maddie to her car and I came back to the dorm and took a quick nap. Kratos, who is a subscriber to the YouTube channel, sent me a few custom card designs that he made for a ritual summoning based Greek gods archetype. I really like the concept and the passion that he put into each card. He has the effect of each card relate to an element of the myth that the card is based on. So I looked through the cards, and I enjoyed them. I gave him like some of my feedback. He asked how he could better balance them. I didn't really see any balancing issues from looking at them, but I did say that that's something that we'll learn more about through like actually playtesting. It's easier to playtest cards and realize, oh, this is really unbalanced than it is to just read them and tell. Depending on what the effect is, some you read and you go like, well, this is just absurd. But for like more subtle effects, you may not be able to tell like how bad it is until you like actually see it in action. But after looking over the cards, I exercised, showered. I talked with Jarrod and Jonathan for a bit about like their senior projects, and then I started the live stream. So in the first 12 minutes of this video, I've gone over everything that I've done today. Now I'm going to, in the description box below, paste in everything that I just talked about my day. That way, if anyone jumps into the live chat and they want to know what I did today, they can just like, with the greatest of ease, see what I did today without having to like ask many questions. Real quick, I'm gonna scoot my phone over again. It's just blocking things on my laptop screen. Oh, I put 22nd. I shouldn't have put 22nd. So this vlog is for January 21st, 2019. Because, we're not in the future. Today is the 22nd, but the stream is always about the day before. So I just fixed the title. The title is now correct. Nickabenson vlog, January 21st, 2019. So right now what I'm doing is I'm posting what I did today in the description. I just went over what I did today at the beginning of the video. So if anyone is tuning in just now and missed the beginning, feel free to jump in the description box. I'm currently editing it, so it's not all ready right now, but it's about to be. So just give me one moment. Okay, let's see. All I have to do is add in this video Jet talks about, with a colon. Change it from gaming to people and blogs. And then hit save changes. Okay, ballin'. So now in the description box below, you guys can see what I did today with the greatest of ease, which I feel like is pretty convenient for anyone who tunes in late and wants to know what I did today but missed like the beginning part of it. And while I'm at it, I can also like put tags on the video and things of that nature. Let me check back at the live chat real quick. I saw a viewer pop in for a moment. Okay, I haven't missed anything in the live chat. The reason why I do it the way that I do it is because I got some pretty good constructive criticism about me going over my day over and over and over again within like the live stream. There's no real reason to do that if I can talk about everything at the beginning and then interact with the live chat and then go over it again at the end. It just makes it easier for everybody because if you tune into the stream late, you're able to catch everything that I did today at the end or just read it in the description. And if you tune in early, then you get it all at the beginning, and then we can all just talk about whatever afterwards. So let's see, I'm grabbing specific and general tags. Since no one's currently like on the stream, it's just easier for me to do all the tag stuff now. I don't have to worry about it later. This will also automatically add the playlist. add the stream to a serial playlist since I'm like pre-tagging it, which is great. See, all changes saved. So we have the video tagged. The title has been corrected. It's in the right category, and all changes are saved. Ballin'. So I have the live chat up. So this is normally the part of the video where I just talk with you guys. I go over any interesting topics that you guys may have, and we just like discuss them on the stream. But currently, no one's online, which I guess is understandable. Yesterday, we didn't have like a lot of people online, mainly due to the fact that we started it a little bit late. We started it like over an hour late yesterday. Today, I was relatively close to on time, but I talked with Jarrod and Jonathan for like a little bit, so I missed it by like a few minutes, but not like enough, I think, to miss like a solid amount of people. I think the reason why we don't have a lot of viewers right now is probably because people are getting ready to like go to school, so they go to bed early, and that's fine. I'll probably just look at like some news article stuff and talk about what I'm hype about, stuff that I'm hype about like for the future, and also things that I'll do tomorrow. That would be a good thing to talk about. I know that tomorrow morning I'm gonna try to go to Sandella's around like 10 a.m. It's gonna be pretty cold, so I'm gonna wear like two jackets. So I'm gonna go to Sandella's. I'm gonna get Brazilian, which is like a flatbread with like cheese, grilled chicken, and like a sweet Brazilian sauce, and I get added on it like bacon and onion. So I'm probably gonna get that at Sandella's like early around like 10 after I wake up and do the fan poll stream, of course. Then after that, I'm gonna come back here. I have marketing homework to do. I already watched a video for my marketing class. The next bit of marketing homework I have is a case study that's due tomorrow night. So I'm gonna get that out of the way. I also have homework for a statistics class. That homework's due Thursday, but I have like a lot of it that I have to do. So I'll probably be breaking that down into parts and doing it throughout the week rather than trying to do it like all at once like the day before, because that can be a little hectic. Um, then I have a strategy class, like a business strategy class that I go to. So I'll go to my business strategy class and I'll try and read the chapter ahead of time. I didn't read the chapter ahead of time last time, and we didn't have a pop quiz or anything like that, so I didn't get boned for not reading it. But we had a really cool in-class discussion where I didn't need to read the chapter. I already like understood the material that we were discussing in the in-class discussion. But just in case we have a pop quiz or anything like that, it would be nice for me to have read the chapter and have known what was going on ahead of time. So I'm going to make sure to do that and not get cucked. So that's another goal that I have. So tomorrow, marketing, I got to like do the case study. Um, the management class, I got to make sure that I read at least the chapter summary to get prepared for like a possible pop quiz. And then finally, statistics. I should work on some statistics work ahead of time in order to try and avoid running out of time to work on homework because that would suck. And our teacher like also warned us last class meeting, make sure that you like work on it ahead of time because he's assigning a lot all at once, which is weird. I don't know why he's doing that, but he's doing it, so hopefully everything works out. So I have a few different homework things I'm going to do tomorrow. I may or may not be able to hang out with Aidan. I think Tuesdays are like my worst day to hang out with people because I think the only time that I'm really free to hang out is between classes, and it's for like a very small period of time, which is also why I don't stream during that period. Because if I wanted to hang out with Aidan, I probably would have to hang out like for like that very small period between classes, and then afterwards we would like both go our separate ways. I may be able to hang out with Aidan late tomorrow night, when he's working in the lab, working on his like ionic propulsion projects. We could probably brainstorm a few ideas and troubleshoot how to fix like the ionic propulsion levitation device thing that he's working on. It's pretty cool. We haven't talked about it too much, but I do have a video that we filmed, not of the propulsion device, but of the power supply that he made, and testing the power supply. It's pretty cool. I need to upload it to the channel, so hopefully I'll upload that tomorrow at some point. I know that Ben 10 Season 3 has a second episode that is dropped, and it's revealed Kevin 11 in the Ben 10 reboot. I need to watch that at some point and then make a video similar to how I made a video about Ben 10 Season 3 Episode 1. I'm going to try to do that for every episode of Ben 10 Season 3, make like my own like breakdown, analysis, and summary video. So I'm going to hit that up at some point and do that. I want to start making more superhero series concepts and series formula books. I want to start making them themed around universes that I come up with, where it'll be called like Earth 1A superheroes, and then like the subtitle be like original series concepts and formulas, and then it would be a group, like a book, a collection of series concepts and series formulas based around superheroes on Earth 1A. And then the next book can be about, superheroes on Earth 1B and 1C and et cetera, et cetera. Yo, Kels, welcome to the stream. It's good to have you. Thank you for joining in and smashing that like button. Truly appreciate it. Right now, I'm just talking about ideas that I have for like future books that I want to write, but I'm willing to talk about whatever. You're actually the first person to like tune in. So welcome. It's good to have you. During the first 12 minutes of the stream, I talked about what I did today. All that is posted in the description box below if you'd like to check it out. At the end of the stream, I'm going to go over all that again. So you can either jump in the description box now and read like what I did today, and then we can like talk about stuff that I did today, or you can wait until like the end of the stream, and I'll go over it at the end of the stream regardless. But yeah, I'm open to talk about like whatever you're interested in. The idea that I was talking about just now is I'm interested in writing a series of books that are like Earth 1A superheroes, original series concepts and formulas, and it's about superheroes in an alternate universe, and each book in the series would go over a different Earth and cover different superhero series, series concepts, and series formulas. So I think it would be pretty dope. Kel said, I'm the first to tune in. What do I win? What do you win? I feel like there's something that I should be able to get you for tuning in. I have like plenty of ebooks that I write that I'd be willing to give like a copy of for free, since you tuned in and you asked for something. The question would be how to send it to you, how to like get you that. I think I have an idea of how I can get it to you. So do 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 do. And he said, nah, do a Fortnite dance. Okay, fair enough. Do a Fortnite dance. I've heard of something called flossing while watching an H3H3 video. So I'm pretty sure I understand how to do that. So is flossing doing this? Is this what flossing is? I don't understand it as a concept, but I feel like you floss yourself between your arms. And do your arms go in opposing directions to each other? Like, is it like I don't fully understand the concept of how flossing works. But I feel like it's something like that. Oh wait, I think it's more of a behind your back thing. Is this flossing? I'm not entirely sure. I am not hip with the kids in that way. But yeah, I hope that you liked flossing. I can also do a dab, date myself even further. I feel like future me will see this video and not fully understand what's going on. Oh, Kels, what video games or movies are you excited for this year? Kels said your arms go in the same direction. He said the only big problem is that you need to keep your body still. So you don't move your body at all when you floss. It's just an arm movement thing. So you don't move your body, and you try to be rigid. So you try to face the camera, I guess, and then you just do this. Is this flossing? Am I flossing correctly? Yo, Vanessa Brooks, welcome to the stream. It's good to have you. Kels was one of the first people to get onto the stream, so he was like, hey, what do I win? So I started trying to floss. I don't know how to floss. It said Fortnite dance, and then he said, you're doing it. Okay, there we go. I learned how to floss. I can add that to the things that I did today. Kel said, I'm satisfied. Okay, ballin'. So, Vanessa Brooks said, yay! So on the in the description box below, I've typed out everything that I did today. I went over it at the beginning of the stream. If you want to check out what I did today, feel free to jump in that description box below. I'll also go over it again at the end of the video. Kel said, "Dude, I'm so hyped for Shazam." So I've been really hyped for Shazam too. I feel like it'll be a solid comedy. I like the fact that we're finally getting a theatrical Shazam movie. I feel like kids are really gonna like it. I feel like adults are gonna think it's funny, and kids, of course, are gonna think it's funny. The thing that I'm scared for when it comes to Shazam is the villain. It seems like they're gonna make the villain Dr. Savannah, and I don't want the villain to be Dr. Savannah. Dr. Savannah is like a mad scientist kind of supervillain, but in the trailer it looks like they're gonna make Dr. Savannah like super strong, but that's not really what his character's about. He's more of like a evil scheme kind of villain. I prefer Black Adam. Black Adam is someone who can go like toe to toe with Shazam in a fight. You know, that's more or less how Black Adam and Shazam go at each other. Is like a battle of like strength, but they have like equal power. So normally Shazam has to like outsmart Black Adam. Black Adam, while he has the same powers, has like more experience with his powers than Shazam. So normally Black Adam can outskill Shazam, but then Shazam can outwit Black Adam. He like thinks of something that makes Black Adam unable to like win. So they kind of play off of each other. Dr. Savannah shouldn't be like a brawler. I don't want to see Shazam and Dr. Savannah trade blows because that's not what Dr. Savannah's about. That's just not who his character is. Um, so that's my only complaint. I really don't want to see the like third act of the movie be Shazam versus Dr. Savannah. I want to see either Shazam fight Black Adam or Shazam has to foil an evil scheme of Dr. Savannah, but it shouldn't be like a boxing brawl. That's just not what the characters are like. Vanessa Brooks said, I agree. But yeah, I am also hyped for Shazam. I think his costume looks great. I think the trailer's funny. I like that this movie makes so many references to the bigger DC cinematic universe at large. Especially with having one of the characters be like a fanboy, someone who's like really into the other superheroes who exist in that universe. I hope that there are like plenty more nods to come. There are already plenty of nods in the trailer to like other things going on in the DC cinematic universe. I think it's dope. There's actually a new run of Shazam that's going on, and I need to read it. I need to like start reading the new run of Shazam. It's made by the guy who is an executive producer on the Shazam movie, who also wrote the New 52 run of Shazam, or like the 2011 run of Shazam. So I've read all of the 2011 run of Shazam, which is what this movie is based off of, so I'm really happy about it. And I want to read the new stuff because I imagine that's what future movies are going to be based around. Kel said, if you could have an actually functional dual disc in real life, which would it be? Like if I had to pick a type of dual disc between like all the different ones from the different shows, Kel said I'd have an Arc V dual disc. Um, if I could have any dual disc in real life, I liked Zexel and the fact that it was augmented reality because I feel like that's the most realistic type of like dual disc design. I feel like we could have that now if we wanted. Like where you like play the cards and the monsters appear when you look through like a visor type of like Google Glass device. That just seems cool and it just makes sense. So I liked that. If there are any dual disc that have like a you get hurt functionality, I think I kind of would be interested in that. I remember there's a scene in the original Yu-Gi-Oh series where Yugi and Kaiba are having a duel. I think they're using the dual disc, and Kaiba says like, the impact from my monster blowing up could be so strong that I could like fall off of this like castle. Um, I thought that was interesting because that implies that the holograms do like actually dish out force, but they dish that force out at other holograms. But I could just imagine like using the dual disc to like summon the monsters and have the holograms interact with stuff in the real world. I think that would be kind of dope. Maybe I would like hack into my dual disc to make it just work in general, to like mess with things like in the everyday life. Even give like my monsters like AI abilities or something like that. I think that'd be dope. So yeah, I would probably want either a dual disc from Zexal or a dual disc from like OG Yu-Gi-Oh. And if I got the Zexal one, I probably would just play around with the Zexal one. I'd just like use it as I normally would. If I got one from original Yu-Gi-Oh, I would try to hack into it, add like AI functionality to the holograms and have the holograms interact with stuff like in the world around me. I think that would be really dope. So yeah, that's my answer to that question. Interesting question. I liked it. Um, why the Arc V dual disc? I guess would be my question to you. Um, Also, I haven't watched too much of Arc V. I watched a little bit. I think I got to the part where their school was facing off against another dual school. Kel said, "Dark magician, attack my homework with dark magic attack." I mean, if like a monster destroyed your homework, I think your teacher would still be upset that you didn't like just redo it. That's one thing that I've always thought was weird, was like the dog ate my homework kind of thing. I've heard people use that in real life. But the thing that I don't get about it is whenever it's a homework assignment that's like a paper. Um, if your dog eats your homework and it's like a paper, it's not a thing where you have like a worksheet that the teacher gave you and then you don't know what the worksheet was, so you can't like recreate it, then why not just try your best to rewrite the paper and explain it to your teacher? To me, it doesn't make sense when you don't turn in anything. You should turn in at least something, but with the explanation of I had more, but something happened. To turn in nothing is weird, unless like your dog ate your homework right as you were turning it into your teacher. You know, like if it was like a legitimate last minute, there's no possible way that you could have tried to have like written anything else, then I get that. But if you have time between when something happens to your homework in class, you should try your best to like redo that homework and also explain to your teacher ahead of time, hey, something happened, but at least I like put forth effort to try and do something better. Sorry to go on like a weird tangent about that, but I've just always found that interesting when students would try to do that and then not have like anything to like show for it. Kel said, "I'd have the Arc V dual disc because you can get one with a really cool disc design." He said, "and it also functions as an iPad." So that's interesting. So you can kind of use it as like a portable computing device. That's not bad. You actually do get a lot more out of it by having that additional functionality. Also, I haven't watched Vrains. I think I watched like the first couple episodes of Vrains, and I thought it was weird because it seems like they're trying to, at least when I was first watching it, it seemed like they were trying to structure the episodes where you didn't have a duel every episode. It seemed like you would have an episode where there was like a duel, and then the next one people would like talk, and then you would have a duel in the next one, and then like the next one it would be like more like talking and exposition. And I was like, I'm not sure if I really vibe with that. Also, I really like virtual reality, but I don't know how I feel about like speed duels on hoverboards, and the rules for the duels are like different from how like real duels are. Um, I always find it weird when shows kind of make up their own rules versus like an actual game that people play already. Um, because it's called Yu-Gi-Oh, but then the way they play Yu-Gi-Oh isn't how like Yu-Gi-Oh is actually played. I just think that's odd. Kel said in Brains they don't have dual discs; they have dual watches. Oh, okay, that's also different. Um, how do dual watches work? Are they like essentially the same thing? I just imagine with like a watch, like, do things come out of it for you to put your cards on, or like how does that work? Does it transform into a dual disc essentially? Let's see. Also, how long is Vrains gonna go before we get like the next Yu-Gi-Oh series? Vanessa Brooks said Dual Watcher, and she put like the shocked emoji. Uh, Vanessa Brooks really likes that emoji. I feel like you used that a lot not too long ago in like a recent stream. I still haven't seen Bakugan Battle Planet. I've been asked by a few different people, like, when are you gonna do something on Bakugan Battle Planet? And for a long time, I couldn't find a way to watch it online. Then someone told me you could watch episodes on YouTube, but I noticed recently that an anime site that I use, GoGo Anime, has episodes of Bakugan Planet on it. So I may start checking out Bakugan Planet on the GoGo Anime site and then do a video talking about my opinion on Bakugan Planet. So stay tuned for that. I'll probably do something at some point in the future. Kel said they're basically the same when talking about the dual watches. Everything's digital, so the cards just kind of show up. Fair enough. And then Kel said Vrain should end by mid 2019. Okay. Do we know anything about what's going to replace Vrains afterwards? Vanessa Brooks then said, how many Yu Gi Oh shows have they made? You have Yu Gi Oh Season 0. Then you have the original Yu Gi Oh series that ran for like 5 seasons. Then you have Yu Gi Oh GX. Then you have Yu Gi Oh 5Ds. Then you have Yu Gi Oh Zexal. And now we're on Yu Gi Oh Vrains. The next series, if it goes with the pattern that we've had so far, should be based on the original series, similar to how Zexal was based on the original series. So you have like original series, um, without counting season 0. Season 0 was kind of its own thing. You have original series, GX, and 5Ds. Zexal is inspired by like the way that they did the original series. Then Arc V was inspired by how they did GX, and then Vrains is inspired by how they did 5Ds. So if they keep that pattern going, like I said, the next series should be based more in like magic and things of that nature, which is like a big driving force in the original series. Nani said, so Nick is Blackbeard? Yo, Nani, welcome to the stream. It's good to have you. Don't forget to smash that like button. Truly appreciate it. Then Kel said, counting season 0, there's 7. And then Nani said, is Yu-Gi-Oh! Nick Arc? Question mark. Also, thank you for smashing that like button. Truly appreciate it. So, there's 7. Season 0, original, GX, 5Ds, Zexal, Arc 5 Vrains. Yeah, you're right. That it has 7, most def. Nani said, where's Nick and Maddie? So if you jump in that description box below, I've actually typed out everything that I've done today. Then Nani said, Winslow, I mean. So Aidan and I actually hung out a good bit today, and me and Maddie also hung out a good bit today. Like I said, everything I did today is in the description box below. But if you want, I can go over specifically the things that I did today involving Aidan and involving Maddie and skipping over everything else. Aidan and I wrote raps together and talked about YouTube until around 6:15 a.m. Then the next time either Aidan and Maddie come up, Maddie hit me up right after I finished today's fan poll stream, and we went to Dunkin' Donuts for breakfast. We took it back to the dorm, and then we watched Adventures of Superboy together. Then after me and Maddie watched Adventures of Superboy, I went to Aiden's, where we hung out and watched music videos. I introduced Aiden to a few different artists, Young Lean, Cincy Molly, and Little Brooke. Then after that, I went back to the dorm to hang out with Maddie while she studied Spanish, and we talked about why superpowered people shouldn't have sex. And that's what I did with Aiden and Maddie today, for the most part. Kel said, I really want to print some custom cards, but it's really hard. So you want to like print out custom cards and like put them in like sleeves and stuff, like print them on cardstock. That would be interesting. I've seen people do that at like my local card shop. I used to go to the Deep and play in Yu-Gi-Oh tournaments. I never understood it when I was a kid, like the concept of like playing with custom cards and why it would be fun. I definitely understand it now. Um, but there used to be a group of people who wouldn't compete in the tournaments and they would just play with custom cards against each other. Mm. I remember they would do things like make Pokemon cards, um, but make them like in Yu Gi Oh! Kel said, why shouldn't supers have sex? So, I'm glad you asked. The main reason why superpowered people shouldn't have sex is because most powers are emotion slash adrenaline based and could be accidentally triggered during sex, especially with stuff like X-Men characters. In X-Men, they really push that like when you're going through adolescence, your powers start to kind of like go out of control because you start feeling like strong emotions. You'll like feel more stress, and your like adrenaline will go, and your powers will just like go crazy. So you got to go to like the X Institute and learn how to control your emotions and control your feelings, so that you can better control your powers. But just think about like how during sex, like your adrenaline can start pumping. You can start feeling certain ways, and then your powers just wow out. Some people, it doesn't matter how much training you have, you would just have your powers go out of control, and like someone would die. Like the Incredible Hulk. Some versions of the Hulk, it's not just him being mad. It's just like his heart rate, like going up a certain amount, will turn him into the Hulk. And I feel like that's not something he could really control like during sex. So I just think it's really dangerous, especially with like mutants in the Marvel universe and the Incredible Hulk, also a Marvel character, for them to have like sex. Also, people who are just really strong in their fictional universes, they could like thrust and like just kill like someone just straight up, or like you close your legs like really fast, like during sex, you like wince or something, and then like like just you blow up the other person like between your thighs. It's just fucking crazy. Like you don't want to do it. Me and Maddie talked about how dangerous it was. Maddie tried to defend it, like nah, like there should be like some superheroes that you're able to like get away with, but in most cases you can come up with a scenario where it's not worth the risk, because you wouldn't just get hurt, you would like probably die. It just seems really dangerous. Vanessa Brooks said, "How do you feel about the Sonic movie? I think it's going to be weird. Sonic was my childhood." When it comes to the Sonic the Hedgehog live action film, the images that we've seen, I can't tell if some of them are real or not. I know that the poster where he's like a silhouette is real, and that one looks stupid. Sonic needs gloves. Give him gloves. That's the main thing I don't like about it, is that he's not wearing like his white gloves. No one wants to see weird human hands on a hedgehog. Please. They didn't give him quills, they gave him fur, and I understand why they did that, and I'm fine with that. A lot of people feel weird that they gave him fur, because it's not like he's like Sonic the Werehog, but I just couldn't see them giving him quills though. I think that would also look weird. When I learned that they were gonna make a Sonic live action movie, I thought they were gonna have like the video game model of 3D Sonic in just a normal world. I didn't think they were gonna try and make him look more real. I just thought he was gonna come from a world where everything looks like the games, and he was just gonna be in our world. I would have been totally fine with that. And people could have acknowledged it. They could have been like, "You look like you're straight out of a video game." And he could be like, "I am. The world I come from is a video game in your world. But in my world, it's like a real place." And that's all you really have to say. And I feel like that would be fine. So I thought it would be weird. Vanessa Brooks said, "Yes, I agree. What do you think about his eyes?" Also, don't worry, Kels, I haven't missed your comment. I'm just currently answering hers. While I look up the Sonic the Hedgehog like movie stuff, I'm going to read what Kel said. Kel said, "Man, it would suck if your power was to switch sexualities. So halfway through, you're just like, oh, this sucks. Oh, to switch sexuality, you're just not into it anymore." That does sound weird. I feel like that would make it a really like gross experience. You just wouldn't want to do it. But I've just pulled up some images from like the Sonic the Hedgehog live action movie stuff. I wanna I saw something that looks like a fan thing, and it was gross. I'm seeing a whole bunch of fan images. Where can I find more of those like leaked Sonic the Hedgehog movie images so I can see his eyes? Because I do think Sonic's like big ass cartoon eyes, if they try to make it look more realistic, are gonna be like really stupid. do 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 do. Let's see. I'm clicking on like different links online, trying to find images of Sonic with like his eyes done in a style. Someone brought up like a Twitter thing that's supposed to show like the two Sonics side by side. Oh, I thought it was loading. It's not loading. He said my brother is scared to see his face. I'm not surprised, because I really don't know how it's gonna look, like in the actual movie. Um, but if someone could tell me where I could find an image of his face, if we have any official images of his face, I truly appreciate it. If you guys could send that my way, blah, if you could send that my way, um, because I hope they don't mess it up. If they make him look scary, I don't think kids will want to see it, and I feel like kids and like old school Sonic fans are the people who are like interested in seeing a Sonic the Hedgehog movie. So if you upset old school Sonic fans and you like scare kids, I don't think the movie will be successful. So hopefully they don't mess it up. Hopefully the Sonic design is better than we think it will be. Because right now, seems pretty shite. It just doesn't look that good. And we've only really seen a poster. We, we haven't seen a lot to go off of. But from what we have seen, it just doesn't really look that good. Mm. Um, but Jim Carrey's gonna play like Dr. Robotnik, which is also weird. Yeah, Vanessa Brooks just brought that up. How do you feel about Dr. Eggman being played by Jim Carrey? Jim Carrey might be able to do a good job. I actually don't mind the fact that Dr. Eggman is Jim Carrey. Because Jim Carrey played the Riddler in Batman Forever, which is my favorite Batman movie, which is an unpopular opinion, I know. But I don't think he did a bad job as the Riddler. He's good at playing like an eccentric villain. Even if the villain wasn't originally eccentric, he can make them eccentric in a believable way. And I feel like he's just going to play a very eccentric Dr. Eggman. He's not going to be as maniacal. He's going to feel a little more cartoony. Um, and I'm fine with that. I feel like he can probably do a good job as Eggman. It's just going to be a different job. Kel said he doesn't look scary. He looks like he's going to tell you why bullying is bad while default dancing. So you feel like the way that Sonic's going to be is he's going to be almost like a PSA is the way that you described him. Like he's trying to like be cool but like teach a message. It'll probably be something like that. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. Um, do you think he's going to look good around real objects? Like when you see him in the movie, do you think you'll be able to look at him and go like he looks real? Or do you think you'll look at him and you'll be like he looks like bad CGI? Because I feel like that's make or break for a lot of people. Vanessa Brooks then put like the crying laughing emoji, which is another one of her favorite emojis. I have a new SoundCloud weekly playlist. SoundCloud every week gives me a new playlist based off of my listening history. And what I do is I listen to that whole playlist. I try and find the best songs from it. And then I make a playlist of those best songs and just only listen to those songs for a whole week in order to try and make SoundCloud Weekly better. Um, but I haven't listened to all of SoundCloud Weekly yet, so I don't have that playlist done. I'll probably have that playlist done sometime tomorrow. I hope not tomorrow, later today, because it's technically already the 22nd. Vanessa Brooks said, "Can I send a link on chat to a guy's reaction to Sonic's face in real life?" Um, I'm not sure. I think YouTube doesn't let you guys send links. You can try though, and I'll tell you if I can't see the link. So try and say like, "Here it is, colon," and then press enter, and then I'll tell you whether or not there's anything after the colon. Then Vanessa Brooks said, "Oh, okay. Let's see. Right now I'm thinking about tomorrow a lot. I'm hyped to eat sandellas tomorrow. I didn't have sandellas during the weekend because I only get 5 meal swipes a week on campus. So I could only eat like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, Friday on campus. So I'm glad to be able to like get a meal swipe in. I think that'll be good. Um, I need to tell Colin and the guys about my like mandatory meeting thing that I gotta go to. For my scholarship, we have like regular mandatory meetings that we have, and I believe there's one this Friday. But we do D&D on Fridays. Normally we try and do D&D later in the day, but I noticed that we had like a relatively early D&D session Saturday, but we're gonna do them on Fridays. So I need to make sure that everyone knows ahead of time that on that Friday I'll probably have to go to a meeting, and the meeting I think is like from 1 to 2 or like 1 to 1:30, something like that, and then I'll need a ride like to and from the meeting. Vanessa Brooks said, "Do you think they're going to add Amy and Tails and Knuckles in the movie?" I feel like we will either get them in the movie as major characters, we'll get them in the movie in a cameo, or they'll be big parts of like the next movie but may not be in this first movie. So they'll either be like main characters, or we'll see them for like a little bit but they're not like big parts of the story, or they'll be introduced in like a sequel movie if this movie was to get a sequel. Right now, from what I can tell, I'm not sure if this Sonic movie will be a success. We haven't seen a lot about it, so it's really early to make any assumptions. But I just think some of the design choices they've made for Sonic are weird, and I'm not sure how well they'll sell with audiences, and that'll really be what determines the success of like a live action Sonic movie. So I feel a little wary on it. Um, but yeah, I feel like it's gonna be one of those three possibilities. They'll either be main characters, cameo, or appear later. If they don't cameo, I'd be surprised. Like if they were like never mentioned or never seen, I would be really like caught off guard. At the very least, I think Sonic would refer to his friends. I think that would make sense. Hmm. Let's see. So I have about like 9 more minutes left in the stream to be able to talk with you guys. Like I said, feel free to ask me anything. I greatly appreciate it. I imagine if the Sonic movie is a success, that the sequel will probably do stuff like try to introduce like Shadow the Hedgehog. That'd be pretty dope. I would love to actually see like Shadow and Sonic in live action in like a movie, as long as it was good. The design stuff seems a little weird for me though. It's kind of a turn off. Also, my mouth is getting dry. It's getting super dry. I need some water. I drank like a ton of water before I started the stream, but now I'm like feeling it. I'm like, no. Kel said, dude, imagine using the Switch as a dual disc, like using the Nintendo Switch as a dual disc. Wouldn't it be kind of bulky? I guess dual disc already are bulky. Would the disc come out of it, or would you just tap on the screen to like use it as a dual disc? Using a Nintendo Switch as a dual disc feels more or less like just playing a Yu-Gi-Oh video game on Nintendo Switch at that point. You know what I mean? Speaking of which, I'm still debating about whether or not I should reinstall Pokemon Go or not. I don't think I should. I don't think I'll get much mileage out of it. Aiden doesn't play Pokemon Go as far as I'm aware. Maddie doesn't play Pokemon Go as far as I'm aware. Danica doesn't play Pokemon Go as far as I'm aware. Um, Dozer and Serena don't play Pokemon Go as far as I'm aware. Um, it's just a lot of the people that I hang out with for like extended periods of time aren't really into it, and they're people that I hang out with in person. So I couldn't see myself going around and like catching Pokemon and like battling with them because I don't really play it. So I feel like without having the support of like a friend base who plays it, I can see myself playing it. Also, speaking of Pokemon Go is made by the same people who make Ingress, which is like a similar game that came out before Pokemon Go. And Ingress now has an anime. I've been meaning to talk to Matt about it because I think it would be interesting for me and Matt to try and check out the Ingress anime, but it keeps slipping my mind. So I'm glad that you brought up the Nintendo Switch. The only reason why I thought about it is because it was like Nintendo Switch Yu-Gi-Oh made me think about Nintendo Switch Pokemon, which made me think about Pokemon Go, which then made me think about Ingress, which then made me think about the Ingress anime. So I appreciate it. Vanessa Brooks said his brother said Sonic on the poster. His head looks like Quiz Boy from Adventure Bros. And then he said, I play Pokemon Go, but I got bored. I've actually never seen Adventure Bros. Is it good? And isn't it called Venture Bros, like without the ad part? And I also used to play Pokemon Go. My main annoyance was that you could only really battle in gyms. I think it's really cool to just catch Pokemon and then be able to just battle someone random. You just run into them and it's like, yo, like place your bets. Like I'm about to whoop that ass. And then like go head to head, my Squirtle versus whatever the fuck Pokemon you have, and like we see who hits the hardest. Battling at gyms I thought was kind of dumb, only because it didn't feel personal. You're like essentially fighting an AI controlled version of their Pokemon rather than facing off against them directly. That's why I like the concept of being able to fight head to head. And now that they have head to head combat in Pokemon Go, where my Pokemon fights your Pokemon and we're actively controlling them, I think that would be dope. But I want it in augmented reality. I want to be able to do it where my Pokemon's in front of me and their Pokemon's in front of them, and I see it through my phone and I see them fight. Right now, the way they have it in the game is they're in like a virtual space fighting each other, and you're like commanding them and activating their special moves. But I want to see that like on the ground in front of me. If me and my friend are fighting in the kitchen, I want them like on the fucking linoleum floor, like hitting it up, just like smacking each other to bits. Nani says so he fights with Nick and another computer Nick. Then Vanessa Brooks says, "What was your first Sonic game?" The first video game I ever played was Sonic the Hedgehog on the Sega Genesis. My brother had a Sega Genesis when I was like a baby, and I played Sega Genesis when I was like really young. Then the next console that we got after the Sega Genesis was the Sega Dreamcast, and that's when I played Sonic Adventure and Sonic Adventure 2. I fucked with Sonic Adventure 2 before I ever played Sonic Adventure 1. I played Sonic Adventure on not a dual disc, fuck, on a demo disc. And I thought Sonic Adventure 1 was going to be a lot like Sonic Adventure 2, which I really loved as a kid. Then I finally played Sonic Adventure 1, and I was like, what the fuck is this? Sonic Adventure 1, uh, to me, just feels like a bad game. I really liked 2. 1 was like a very ambitious idea for a game, but it just doesn't have the same like feeling of like high energy, like let's keep it going from mission to mission flow that 2 has, and I really like 2 because of that. So my first like 3 Sonic games I ever played were not Sonic Adventure, the first Sonic game for Sega Genesis, like on a cartridge. Then I went from that to like Sonic Adventure 2, and then after that I played Sonic Adventure. I never beat any of those games. I've actually never beaten a Sonic game in my life. I beat Shadow the Hedgehog on GameCube multiple times because Shadow the Hedgehog, depending on how you play it, has alternate endings. So I've beaten that multiple times and got multiple different endings. I don't know why, but Shadow is the only Sonic game that I've like ever finished, and I finished it multiple times over. Then Vanessa Brooks said, "Did you like Sonic All Star Racing?" I've actually never owned Sonic All Star Racing, but I played a little bit of it while hanging out with my friend Montel when we were younger. Then Kel said, "My favorite Sonic games, 2. So, Sonic 2 or Sonic Adventure 2? Would be my question in response to that. I'm interested in Sonic Generations. People say Generations was really good. I've heard Colors is really good, but I haven't played a Sonic game since Shadow the Hedgehog. Like I haven't played like a new Sonic game in a long time. And then he said just normal Sonic 2. Oh, cool. I'm glad that you like enjoy like the old school Sonic. I'm actually not a big fan of the side-scrolling Sonic. I grew up mainly off of like the 3D Sonic, and the 3D Sonic is like what I'm used to and what I like get hype over. I feel like the 2D Sonics are really difficult, uh, and they're just not the kind of game that I would want to play. I don't want to just eat shit all the time. And I get the concept of like get good, don't be a scrub, don't be a noob, but I like admit that like 2D side scrolling platforming for like Sonic the Hedgehog is just not something that I'm really good at. Let's see. And then Kel said Sonic Generations and Colors were good. Then Vanessa Brooks said, my first Sonic game was Sonic Unleashed and Sonic Riders. Oh, ballin'. I haven't played either of those. I've heard that Unleashed has really good daytime segments with Sonic. Like, there's some of, like, the best, like, 3D Sonic, like, running stages that Sonic has ever had, but that the game is bogged down by the, like, Werehog stuff. The Werehog stuff makes it worse. Is that true? And Sonic Riders, I don't really know anything about Sonic Riders. And Vanessa Brooks said yes. Sonic Unleashed was cool though. I really like the Sonic the Hedgehog comic books. I really like Ian Flynn as a writer, and he writes a lot of the Sonic the Hedgehog comics. Um, and I even wrote like a paper in like high school. It was for like the AP English exam about Sonic the Hedgehog graphic novels. They have like a lot of interesting like symbolism and like crazy shit happens in them. We've now been streaming for like a full hour. So what I'm about to do is one more time go over everything that I did today, but I'm not going to go into too much detail because I went into a lot of detail at the beginning of the stream going over what I did today. Then after that, I'm going to read the live chat for a little bit more, reading anything that I missed while I go over my day, and I'm going to end the stream. Okay, so without further ado, I'm going to go over everything I did today. Aidan and I wrote raps together and talked about YouTube until 15 after 6 a.m. Then I went back to the dorm and watched a Maximillian Dood video about Mortal Kombat 11 variations. A few days ago, I talked with Collin, Jarrod, Matt, Max, Avery, and CJ about how I thought player-made custom moveset variations could work in competitive tournament settings. And everyone disagreed with me. Everyone said it was be a horrible idea and that players shouldn't be allowed to set like custom special movesets onto like established characters. Like to where your mom's Sub-Zero might be like more of a rushdown, where like someone else's Sub-Zero may have like more like grapple based moves or something like that. They were like, that's stupid, it's inconsistent, no one will be able to like prepare to like face off against like opponents. It's just like broken and bad. And then I was like, I don't think it's bad because in the game you can see what all the possible special moves are that a character can have. And as long as you familiarize yourself with like all the special moves a character could have, none of the variations have all of those moves. So if you understand all of those moves, no matter what your opponent has, you're like ready for it. You can like see the attack and go, oh, I can block that like high, low, or mid, or I can like jump over that attack, or that attack isn't safe on block, and you can like work your way around it. Like I don't think custom moveset variations are bad, and I feel like they could work in tournament settings. Maximillian Dood in his recent video discussed how he hopes Netherealms, which is the company that produces Mortal Kombat 11, would allow for custom moveset variations in competitive tournament settings. Maximillian Dood is a popular fighting game YouTuber that Collin and I watch, so I am now very curious to see if Maximilian's interest might sway the others' opinions. Because me and Collin watch Maximillian Dood, I think Matt and Jarrod might, but I don't think they're like as into it as Collin is. And I'm curious to see if Maximillian Dood also wanting custom variations in competitive tournament settings might convince the guys that it's not as bad as they think. But I don't know. Anyways, I set an additional alarm for 11:45 a.m. and then went to bed for the night. I then woke up around like 12:30 p.m. and streamed the fan poll. Today's fan poll winner was a Dueling Book Highlander deck building stream, which was weird because Ryan was like, no custom cards, and I'm like, but we're in Dueling Book and we're not using custom cards. This is blasphemy. And then I didn't have an idea set for a Highlander deck, and Highlander decks you can only have one copy of any card in your deck. So I added like 10 cards to the deck, and I didn't know what all to add and what to do over the course of like a whole hour. So we mainly just talked about like D&D the whole time. After that, Maddie called just as I ended the live stream, and we went to Dunkin' Donuts for breakfast, and then we took it back to the dorm to eat. Then we watched an Adventures of Super... Excuse me. My apologies. Then we watched Adventures of Superboy together. The episode that we looked at that I like really fucked with was one where Lex Luthor had to decide whether or not to let Superboy help him escape a collapsed mine, or to kill Superboy. So they're like both trapped in a mine shaft together, and Lex Luthor has kryptonite. Lex Luthor can use that kryptonite and kill Superboy while he essentially has like no way to escape, or he can let Superboy like save his life, but he has no way of doing both, so he has to choose. And it was a nice character study for you to like truly understand the motivations of Lex Luthor and why he does what he does, and to understand Superboy and why he does what he does. And then after learning how opposed the two are and their ideals and views and the way they think, see them work together was really interesting. I feel like it's one of the best episodes of Adventures of Superboy, and that the dialogue in the episode is some of like the best in the series. So I really vibed with it. After watching Adventures of Superboy with Maddie and eating breakfast, I went to Aidan's, where we hung out and watched music videos. I introduced Aidan to artists like Young Lean, Cincy Molly, and Lil Brook. Aiden and I then talked about who we thought was more attractive, Sensi Molly or Little Brooke. Aiden prefers Little Brooke, while I vibe more with Sensi Molly. Sensi Molly is like short. She's kind of like stacked in the front and the back, and she has like a really happy and out there personality. Then your boy Aiden was like, nah, I'm not really a fan. I like the short and stacked body build. He's like, Little Brooke is like a little more slim, a little taller, and she's not as like out there and like loud with her personality. So me and Aiden more or less discovered that like we see like attractiveness in women like a little bit differently. Like we don't have like similar types. And I thought that was like interesting and cool. I feel like that was a nice way to like establish that and to figure that out. While hanging out with Aiden, I sold a magic sigil to a repeat customer on Fiverr. I got another 5-star review. All they said in the review was incredible, and I got an extra $5 in my pocket. So, hey. I then went back to the dorm and hung out with Maddie some more as she studied Spanish. We talked about why superpowered people shouldn't have sex. The main reason is most powers are emotion slash adrenaline based, especially in like X-Men or in like the case of like the Incredible Hulk, and could be accidentally triggered during sex due to like an adrenaline rush or like your heart rate increasing or like you feeling like strong emotions for or about the other person. It just makes it a dangerous situation to be in, and you don't want to like accidentally like kill someone. So after that, I walked Maddie to her car. I came back to the dorm and then I took a quick nap. Kratos sent me a few custom card designs that he's been making for Yu-Gi-Oh! The custom card designs are a part of a ritual summoning based Greek gods archetype. I really like the concept and the passion that he's put into each card. He has the effect of each card reflect an element of the myth that the card is based off of. I thought that was like a really cool idea. After looking over the cards and giving him some feedback, I exercised, showered, and then I talked with Jarrod and Jonathan a little bit about their like senior design classes for a bit. And then after that, I started the live stream. I mean, now we've caught up. But anyways, I'd like to thank you all for watching and all for tuning in. If you like this video, make sure to smash that like button, favorite, comment, subscribe, and ding ding ding, ring that notification bell to be notified whenever we do these live streams. Good night, everyone, and make sure that you tune back in tomorrow. We're going to have a fan poll stream bright and early to where you'll be able to vote in the comment sections below of the fan poll stream for what you would like to watch next. So, thank you all once again for tuning in. This is your host, your friend, your boy, Jet Black, the one and only, logging out. I hope you all have a wonderful night. Kirby popped in right at the end to say outro, pineapples. Yo, Kirby, thank you for tuning in, and thank you for smashing that like button. Truly appreciate it.